Are we live? We're live. Let me see. Is there media in here?
Media.
Where's the little video? Okay,
Who
so it doesn't
knows?
kill the video. There we go. Close this out. Anyway, this is our little video. Hello, everybody. Stop.
What was that?
I don't know. What was that? What
That
was
the
that?
remixed edition.
We're remixing.
Flash.
Keep going.
We're
Why
doing
does
it.
it keep repeating? Anyway, welcome everybody to the Cosmos. I'm Chad. This is Dave. That's John. Damn, I'm not ready today. I need to get my head into the game. I need to wake myself up.
We just had a big discussion about the future of the cosmos, so we're all kind of in our own brains.
Yeah, John's over here. John's writing his little "I quit" after that discussion.
I'm sharing the links, my friend.
Nice.
Gotta share the links.
What's the thing on that thing you do at the very end? He's like, "Give me something peppy. Give me something peppy." And he goes, "I quit."
Yeah. So I just got done eating a bowl of spaghetti as well. So I'm like, Dave was having
meatballs.
What?
With or without meatballs?
With meat. So I mean,
balls.
Not meatballs, just meat.
Well, it was
you don't put meat
sauce.
I'm just clarifying. I'm just trying to make sure
I turn the ball up the meat. Okay. Sometimes your meat goes unballed.
Yeah.
Parmesan or like big chunks of like shredded cheese. The little Parmesans or big chunks of.
I didn't have Parmesan on this time.
Okay.
I should have though. I feel like I should have.
Okay.
I mean, sure. I know I should have. So.
Do you cut the spaghetti all up into little bits, or do you twirl it on your fork? I can talk about this all night if you want me to. They could be the whole hour.
Do you Lady in the Tramp it, or?
I mean, I Lady in the Tramp it with the hose man behind.
Nice. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I bet he was very happy for the meal and the attention.
He was, yeah. I gave him a little reach around too.
Wow!
Look,
$20
dude,
in town.
$20 is $20, dude. He was very friendly. No, I keep my noodles like an actual regular human being. I keep them Twizzler on fork, like a real mature man.
Oh wow!
I
twizzle them. First step into your next adventure as a real man, huh?
Correct. Yes. What is that?
A man. What?
Do you guys hear that music?
It's in your head, man.
It isn't actually in my head. It's actually in my little. One of my buddies has a D&D video going, and I forgot to hit the little mute button on it.
Oh, there you go.
So anyway, how's you guys' week been before we get started?
Good.
Anything exciting?
No problems. My wife and I are almost done with school. We're teachers. We're almost school. The last day with kids today, and Thursday, Friday meetings, and then we're done for.
You guys go late.
We do go late. We don't go back until September. So we're it all evens itself out.
No kidding.
At least that's what I tell myself.
What do you teach?
I'm an art teacher. I teach middle school art.
Okay, what do you really teach?
Cartoons. We watch Thundercats.
Okay, there we go.
Thundercats, E-Man, Silverhawk. If I can get it on YouTube, we'll just watch that.
That's fair. Okay, that makes sense now.
I consider it art history, right?
Right. I was about to say, like, you can't draw. What are you talking about?
I'm really bad at it. Nobody's noticed yet. So, or maybe they have. Maybe they have.
Well, I don't mean to say why the offspring is over here in my can't draw pile of books.
Oh, no. The truth comes out.
It is. I mean, that's to be fair. To be fair, though, the books that I have drawn are also over there, so don't feel too bad.
I think maybe we're just too hard on ourselves.
It's a possibility. I think you're a great artist, Dave.
Oh, thanks. Right back at you.
Thank you.
Everybody's doing a better job.
Yeah, pat on the back, everybody. Pat on the back.
Nice.
Anyway, so what are we talking about today, guys? John? How are you? You excited about the new Lorcana stuff coming out?
Yeah, looking like the new set is cool. I am excited for the rotation. We'll have to talk about that in the coming weeks.
Hell yeah,
But
we will.
I've been it's been good. I haven't had a ton of time to play. It's summer camp season for the kids, so I've been running around with them.
Same.
Nice.
Well, not running around with the kids or anything, but I've been trying to. I have not had a lot of time to play Lorcana recently, but I did learn that I guess Goofy and then one other card has some synergy going on, and I'm like, hell yeah, the new Pancake Goofy. And I pulled 2 legendary Pinocchios, and I'm very excited.
Nice.
Yeah, he's cool. So, but then I just decided to. I did, John, and I know I was telling you that I might just copy that Flingerdinger deck. I'm just gonna copy it. It has the Hydra. It's one of my favorite cards. It's one of my favorite art of the Lorcana set. So I'm like, you know what? This works. I'm just gonna keep this deck, and if anybody calls me out, that's fine. I don't care.
That's fine.
So
there's only so many cards to play with,
Yeah, and decks are meant to be, copied and used,
optimized, and that's part of the thing.
Yeah, and it's part of the fun.
And no one listening has any idea what you're talking about.
Nobody listening has any idea what we're talking about, and that's fine. I don't know what I'm talking about either. No, John and I play Lorcana. We haven't played it in a while, actually. We should probably start playing more often again.
Yeah.
Once things clear up and everything. Anyway, so today we are talking about. Did I get everything, Dave? Did I get everything for introduction stuff?
I think you did. I think we did it. Yeah.
Great, we did it. Okay.
Getting the nitty gritty.
Great. So today we are talking about the best soundtracks from comics, movies, TV shows, video games, and whatever else that we can think of, and also ice cream trucks, because those things have music as well.
They do.
So he removed a Prince Eric. I'm looking at that Flingerdinger deck. He's way too fucking indecisive. Anyway, he has changed it every single day.
That's how most people are. Is they test stuff, try stuff out, think about different things.
Like, just leave it the way it was. You had me at Mother Gothel and Hydra.
What I'm hoping is that we can say Flingerdinger about 474 more times.
I love.
We got 50 minutes.
Yes, Flingerdinger, and I will continue saying Flingerdinger.
Wasn't that your nickname in high school, Chad?
It was.
It was?
Because I flinged my dinger everywhere.
Wow, it took a turn.
You kind of set yourself up for that one, though.
I did. So my bad.
Yeah, so don't even start with me. Anyway, so we're gonna be talking about that because I think. To me, guys, I think soundtracks are the underappreciated medium when it comes to movies and everything. Like, you can say it's a really good, like, oh yeah, the scenes are really great, like the action sequences are great, but you know what would make it really awkward? If that damn action sequence didn't have any music on it. Like, have you ever seen those? There's these YouTube videos where they take out the music. Like High School Musical and all those, and it's just like awkward people like like dancing. You
can hear the sneakers squeaking up the floor.
Yeah, those are hilarious. I love those videos. But that's what I always think of when people are like, "Oh yeah, this is all great," and I'm like, "Yeah, but what about the music?" So we're all gonna go ahead and talk about what soundtracks we really appreciate. Dave has a couple. I have like 3, 4. Most of mine are from video games because, I'm a gamer, and I do have a movie or two, but let's start.
I'll add one from a video game. I won't say it right now, but I'll write it down right here so I don't forget.
He's going to be like Barbie Dream Racehorse. This was a great soundtrack with the one song.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to put 2 down and see if anybody, because I know John and I are Gen X, so we'll see if he these and gets a chuckle out of them. All right.
John, actually, so since Dave was gone the last show, he gets to go first.
I was actually I need to tell you guys, I was really jealous that I was not involved in that conversation because it was a fun time, and I was really mad that I wasn't able to do it. But I was at my daughter had her sports banquet, so kids in front of everything.
Sure.
So. and I appreciate you guys understand. And I wouldn't miss these if it wasn't for a really important reason. So great job. The last show, I thought it was a great show.
Thank
so maybe I'm the problem. Shucks.
Maybe you just bring bad synergy and
Bad mojo.
yeah.
I'm trying my hardest, guys. I'm trying my hardest. There's only so much I can do. All right, you want me to start?
Yeah, I do.
So I think this is a from a composer who is ridiculously well known in cinema, but I think that this movie gets forgotten for whatever reason. Great director, great actor, great composer. The movie gets forgotten. I don't know why, because when I was growing up, it was one of those ones that kind of replayed on HBO over and over and over again, and I thought it was great, based off a great property. The composer is Danny Elfman. So everybody knows Danny Elfman. The director was Sam Raimi. The actor was Liam Neeson. So great trio right there. The movie that had a great soundtrack, Darkman.
Darkman.
Oh,
an underrated classic of that era. I honestly,
yes.
I didn't know Danny Elfman did the music, and I honestly haven't watched it in so long. It makes me want to rewatch it. I remember enjoying it.
Once you know it's Danny Elfman and you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
It reminded. So it's funny you bring that up, because I also, John, didn't know that Danny Elfman did that. But when you said Sam Raimi and Liam Neeson, I'm like, is it Darkman? And then what was his name up here was in Darkman 2, the guy who did Imhotep from The Mummy. I can never remember his name.
Yeah. From Titanic also, right? No.
Billy Zane? No.
Was it Billy? No, it wasn't Billy Zane.
No.
But I know what you're talking about. They look very similar, don't they? If I'm
the bald head,
they both have bald heads.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm just looking at bald heads, not faces.
So why Darkman? Why Darkman soundtrack?
I just think that Frances McDormand also in it, so you got some heavy hitter actors, and I've always really loved Sam Raimi's style, and I just think that with Danny Elfman's like bombastic is the word I'll use, style.
Sure.
To be able to not just relate like the action, but also the quiet moments. Which, if you know that movie at all, there aren't a lot of quiet moments. But I think they really, like, Sam Raimi's style and Danny Elfman's style really came together to be able to make something, I think, like, for the time, groundbreaking. Now, when you listen to it, you're like, this kind of sounds like Batman. It kind of sounds like Superman. It kind of sounds like Edward Scissorhands. It kind of sounds like whatever. But this was clearly before all of that. And so you could tell he was kind of like trying to figure out that style of superhero film noir type thing. But I thought it was way ahead of its time, and something that was treated in a more serious manner than most movies like this were treated at the time.
I agree. Actually, it's funny you bring up Batman, because that was my first go-to. Was like, that soundtrack is very Batman-y, and I think that's what he wanted to do, but he also wanted to blend in his very, I want to say eccentric, but also kind of, for lack of better terms, like jagged approach to his like, think, like A Nightmare Before Christmas, it's literally like dun dun, 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 like very just fast paced, I guess. I'm really bad at describing music, but you get it, like, and I feel like it is a Batman soundtrack.
And that choppiness goes really well with Sam Raimi's style. If you know anything about his style, he always gets like those quick cuts and the quick camera movements in there.
Yeah, and he's a little campy, so it works.
Yeah.
In the best possible way, right?
Truthfully, it'd be interesting if Sam Raimi and Danny Elfman and Liam Neeson all got together and did a Batman movie. Oh wait, that's just Darkman. But I do quote Durant, like I go Durant sometimes.
Look out!
I've always loved that scene where he's got the bad guy's face on, who was the guy who played. He was in the TV show Law and Order from the '80s, if you remember that. He played Benny, I think was the name of the character. And now wildly inappropriate, but the I don't know if inappropriate, but the character probably would be frowned upon nowadays. But that scene where he's got the face on and he's smoking a cigar and he brings out the cutter and he goes, "You have to the time till I finish this cigar to be able to do whatever you're doing," and he took it and cut it with like this much left and put it in and started smoking. I always thought that was a great scene.
Was that's from Darkman, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking, now that we're talking about it, I do need to go back and watch it because it has been a while. I think I watched it back in like 2011.
Yeah.
I think that was the last time I watched it. I am waiting for though. I feel like that movie needs to be remade. Like I think, yeah, absolutely. It does hold up though, from what I remember.
I think a lot of people also get Darkman and The Shadow. Was it Alec Baldwin who played in The Shadow?
Yeah.
I think sometimes people get those two characters in those movies mixed up. Similar vibes, or similar energy. But I think
similar
that Darkman
costume too.
Similar costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
similar costumes.
Yeah.
So I loved the fact that Darkman was just like this guy who he was burned so much he decided to become a superhero.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a great concept.
Mhm.
But I think that I think the Shadow inspired Darkman. Now that I think about it,
I think that you're absolutely right. Sam Raimi wanted to do The Shadow. They couldn't get the rights, so he just made up Darkman.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Which is great.
But no, I'm glad somebody else knows Darkman.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all know Darkman. Now I got to show Tiff that movie because I don't think she's ever seen it.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember being good. But yeah, I didn't pay enough attention to the soundtrack, so I definitely will give it a rewatch with that in mind.
Nice.
Yeah, I think didn't they do 3 Darkmans? Or was it just the 2?
I think there were 3. I never saw 2 and 3.
I saw 2.
I don't remember much about it, man.
It wasn't Liam Neeson anymore.
No,
it was Arnold.
It can be anybody, right?
It was Arnold Vosloo because he was the one who did Imhotep in The Mummy.
There you go.
That was his name. So now I know. And then he also did Zartan and G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra.
Oh.
Wait, he was also in not in The Cape. He was in Cape Town, not The Cape. If anyone remembers The Cape.
The superhero TV show, The Cape.
Mm-hmm.
That lasted, 4 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That wasn't based on the Joe Hill book about it, was it?
No, it was. It was, but it also wasn't. The TV show had nothing actually to do with the comic book. It was just a name.
Bummer.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was a different character. It was different, like Cape situation.
Different Cape situation.
Yeah, different Cape situation.
Like it was studded with like beads, or it was bedazzled.
It was bedazzled.
Bedazzled Cape. Yep.
Cape.
Now,
Darkman came out at the end.
If you want me to watch something, bedazzle it.
Bedazzle it.
Could you imagine, like, this guy becomes a superhero, but he wants to be really stealthy, but his daughter was murdered, and the only thing left behind was like a bedazzled blanket?
Don't say that.
I think you just did it. The bedazzler.
The bedazzler. Shit! Wait, no! Quick, bleep that out.
Copyrighted, trademarked.
Cosmos trademarked. Right there.
So he's got to like bedazzle the bad guys too. He's got the little clip, and he's got like a pocket full of the beads, and whatever he does, he like bedazzles their mouth shut or something like that.
That'd be sweet. Actually, I would totally I would read the shit out of that book.
Right, it started really heartfelt, like because it's his daughter, and then make it really dark. Show people suffocating and suffering from the bedazzling, bedazzling poisoning.
He's so bedazzled that when light hits him, it blinds the perpetrator, and that's how he's able to jump on him.
This is a way better topic than soundtracks. We can talk
about. Well, I'll tell you. I don't know why when you said soundtracks, I understand that music from a movie you put on whatever listening device, that's the soundtrack to the movie, right? But I always think soundtrack, I'm just that 90s mind. This is original music or music played in the movie. I don't think of the score as much. Not that there aren't amazing scores that I love. Like Chad was saying before we started, you could easily go to Star Wars and Jaws and all those great, music composed. There's so many like that, right? But I went to soundtrack, like they created a soundtrack for the movie. That's just my 90s mind. Yeah. But with Dave, you guys kind of correcting me there right away. The first thing that comes to mind is staying on the Danny Elfman train. Nightmare Before Christmas is it's one of the few musical albums. I love Disney movies. I love
me too.
I love songs with music or movies with music in them. But Nightmare Before Christmas is one that I actually listen to, and the kids always, we listen to it around Halloween and Christmas and all year round. And it's always been one of my favorite things. It's so great. The voice cast is so good. The songs are so perfect, and it's just great. So, that one I just kind of came up with once I realized that the rules were different for this. So
I have both, John. I have both. So you're absolutely right. Original music, or even just like songs that, or like, if it's a movie that was made in 2000, but some of the songs are from 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's, to me, that's still completely legitimate soundtrack. So if you have some of those, hit us with it.
Yeah, I think we should clarify too that absolutely, because one of the things one of the movies that I was gonna bring up, and we'll talk about it in just a second because I got one to bring up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack. I absolutely love singing "What's This" like all the time, especially when I'm like exploring stuff. I'm like, "What's this? What's this? There's something in the air." Like, and it's such a fun soundtrack to sing along to. It's a fun soundtrack to listen to, and it's one of those soundtracks, like John was saying, that you could just listen to at any time. And I feel like that with a lot of Disney soundtracks. Like, I will always go with Moana. I will always sing "You're Welcome." Every time I will always sing the Lion King soundtrack, but Danny Elfman with The Nightmare Before Christmas, I think that's everybody's gateway to Danny Elfman.
Sure. And talk about, pairing the right guy with the right project. And it was just so perfectly done.
Yeah.
Well, he also did, because he did, didn't he do the soundtrack to Edward Scissorhands as well?
Yes. Yeah. He's pretty much done all of his. Yeah.
All of Tim Burton stuff. Yeah. And then there you go. It's Tim Burton as well. Like, why not?
Vincent Price was supposed to be the voice of Santa in that.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't know that.
They actually recorded everything, but I'm not gonna. It's gonna be a bit of a downer, but I think it's a good story because you're talking about Edward Scissorhands. Vincent Price was the creator of Edward Scissorhands in the movie, but Vincent Price came in and did all the recording. But about it was like a month before that, his wife had passed away. And the director said he could feel like the sadness in his voice. So they got another actor to be able to do. I can't remember the name of the actor that took over, but they didn't use Vince. So somewhere out there in a vault is Vincent Price's voice doing Santa in Nightmare Before Christmas, which I think would be amazing to hear.
It would, and the guy who did it did an amazing job. But that would have been something.
Yeah,
too bad.
I agree. I think it'd be fun.
I just watched the House on Haunted Hill a couple of days ago. Vincent Price, The House on Haunted Hill, great. Just a sidebar about Vincent Price. If you like horror, it's an oldie but a goodie. I jumped a couple times. It was great. So
the original House,
the original,
yeah, gotcha. That's what I thought when you said Vincent Price. I was like, that makes sense.
I think even Vincent Price remade it once, didn't he? Like in the 60s or 70s. So there's the one from the 40s somewhere in there. There's one from the 70s. So they redid it a couple times. But the original was great.
No, but I think all this is great. But that has nothing to do with Danny Elfman's Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack.
It's sidebars.
You're going to talk to somebody about tangents?
Right. No, trust me. No, I don't mind. I don't care. No, it's fun because then we all get to learn about each other and we all lead up. Okay, so my choice was because I know you were talking about, John, soundtracks that were from like the early 2000s. You just, the Marvel movies were just released, and it's like, now you can have this soundtrack of, Ghost Rider and, Bring It On or whatever. But anyway, my choice was actually, it is a superhero film. And I actually discovered a lot of bands from this, and I feel like a lot of people did, was the Daredevil soundtrack from 2003.
Really?
Yeah.
The Ben Affleck vehicle?
Ben Affleck one.
Nice.
Yes. And there's a reason why.
Evanescence.
Evanescence. Life. Yes.
I couldn't say it. I couldn't spit it out.
Oh, I didn't know that was in that.
Oh yeah, that's where how they made their big break, was from the Bring Me to Life was the main movie theme song. And I feel like they don't do that anymore, where bands will create original songs.
They do not, and I hate it.
And I hate it too because there was a lot of bands on there that were awesome. Like Fuel was on that, Won't Back Down, and that one got me into Fuel. The Calling for You was on that album. Let me bring it up too because Hoobastank's Right Before Your Eyes.
Oh
Like
boy, you are a 2000s kid if you're excited
I
about
know,
this.
I know.
Who was Stank?
12 Stones was another band that I learned about from that album. Even though I don't really think they're doing anything anymore, but it got me into a lot of different rock bands during the very questionable time of superhero movies, except Ghost Rider, because that was, that movie's great. And The Punisher. I like that one too. But I feel like those soundtracks are also better than the movies now that we talk about it. But Won't Back Down from Fuel is very heavy and disgusting to listen to. It's kind of creepy as well. Like it has that darkness, like I'm going to kill you vibe. It's an absolutely great album to listen to, specifically for that Fuel song, because I absolutely love that song. And also Evanescence Bring Me to Life as well. But I think it did have a lot of bands that aren't very popular anymore. I mean, you have Rob Zombie, you had Nickelback, Seether. Holy crap, Saliva was on this. Huh.
Okay.
Anyway.
And again, I love that era of soundtracks. I actually didn't realize that one had a lot of original music on it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention as much. So that makes me want to bring up another one. I'm going to name the bands. This is not one I had originally picked, but I want to throw it out there for you. Okay. Sevendust, Megadeth, Pantera, Anthrax, Snot, Cold Chamber, Marilyn Manson, Soulfly, Hed PE, Kid Rock, System of a Down, Twisted Sister, all on one soundtrack. Do you know what it is? Talk about movies where the soundtrack was 100 times better than the movie.
Is
that the one movie?
Which one?
Chad.
What?
Chad.
Which one, Chad?
Is it a superhero movie?
It is not.
Oh.
It's like a thriller or like serial killer movie. 1998's D. Snyder's Strange Land.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wait, Sevendust is on that?
Oh, yeah. It was a great soundtrack and a lot of original songs, cover songs. System of a Down did this amazing cover of the song Marmalade, and it's still one of my favorite things they've ever done. And again, only exists because they were asked, or I don't know, maybe a lot of times back then, right? They would take like a B track from an album that they hadn't used, but maybe they went in, a lot back then. I mean, TV shows like Beavis and Butthead had original soundtracks where they had bands come in. And to me, that was like the golden era when people were just so in love with music that they could do projects like that,
Yeah. Oh, shit. Holy crap.
What was the name of it? I don't know if I've ever seen that, John. What's the name of it?
Strange Land. It's not. I've only seen it once or twice. It was not great. It was D. Snyder's writing and directing debut, I think. And it was, of its time. It was definitely.
It was the writing debut.
It almost put the pin in, those kind of movies and soundtracks at the same time. Like, it was just like so of that era, but it's, there's some good jams on there.
No, I agree. Especially now that I'm looking at this, I need to listen to this album. I didn't realize Breathe from Sevendust was from that. Because fun story about Sevendust. I discovered them on a cruise ship with the song Ugly. But yeah, they actually played the music video to that song on a cruise ship. It was weird. Interesting. There's a lot of good bands on here. Snot, Soulfly, Hed PE.
There's a lot of good ones.
I am shocked that they got Kid Rock with Eminem. What? That doesn't age well.
They did a song together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Apparently called Fuck Off.
Oh.
And
that tracks. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the first one for me as a kid was the Crow soundtrack, which was like, oh my God, this is amazing. All these bands I like are getting together to make songs for this movie.
No, this sounds awesome.
But Strange Land was another good one, but I'll save my other one and let David jump back in.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, those guys. So you'll kind of hear a theme from my last couple here. We talked earlier that the last one that I want to talk about usually gets like sparks debates or people like completely disagree with. But since we're kind of talking about musicals, yeah, I know. Since we're talking about musicals, a duo who has written a few musicals, who I don't think again people realize how good it is the South Park movie. Again, original music for it, and those songs not only were hilarious but pushed the story forward. Given those two, and because they did South Park the musical, they went and they wrote Book of Mormon. I think maybe a couple years after that, because they were like, we already did this musical, let's do another musical. So I think South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, I believe is the full name of the movie.
Yep.
If Primus is on the soundtrack, I'm in for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good stuff. And the for me, I find myself asking, what would Brian Boitano do all the time?
Wait a minute.
He was wrestling grizzly bears.
Oh, this is the one with Geddy Lee on it.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember watching this movie, and they had that Uncle Fucker song.
That's it.
On it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great, hilarious stuff. Pushing the envelope, which I'm a big fan of. And writing banger hits for what they were trying to make. It was great.
And again, not to keep riding your coattails, but they also had Primus do the soundtrack for the movie Orgasmo.
Oh yeah, they did.
One of their first ones, which was also good. And Trey Parker and Matt Stone are good musicians. They find cool people to work with, and they make some cool stuff.
Yeah, I would say that Basketball is probably a better movie than I know that I don't think they wrote that.
Right.
But
I actually don't remember, but that was really good.
Yeah, just the energy that they brought for that. If it was two other people in that movie, I don't know if it would have worked. But with those two in that movie, I think it worked really well. Funny movie. I enjoyed it.
I need to go back and watch the South Park movie. It's been a long time since I've seen South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, apparently it's still funny.
Yeah.
I guess.
Still going strong. So
I've actually never really found South Park all that funny.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, there are some jokes, obviously, that, are hilarious, but there's some things where I'm like, okay, it makes fun of everything, but at the same time, though, it's like, can you stop making fun of everything? But I do respect Trey Parker and Matt Stone, because they are incredibly, smart guys. They're very creative people. I know they did Team America, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that was a funny one. Cannibal the Musical was one of the other ones.
They pretty much never really made a bad movie, and maybe that's because they didn't push it too far and do too many. But I didn't actually know they didn't write Basketball, though. That kind of surprises me. But
if I remember correctly, they didn't write. They brought them on just because they were hot at the time. Yeah, I'm sure they did a bunch of rewrites. I'm sure they did a bunch of improv and during it. So they're all over the place. But yeah, funny. Team America World Police was another one that I had forgotten of. I should have brought it up while I was bringing up the other one.
Right.
That is a sensational soundtrack too.
Everyone has AIDS. AIDS. Yeah. That's the one that I always remember. And also America. Yeah. Like that album is so good.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that movie because I made that, at the time when you had a cell phone, you had to hold it up and record your voicemail. So I made it was the Team America beginning. America. Nice. And then I got called for an internship and she told me, I'm not offering you the internship because of your lewd and awful voicemail.
We didn't there anyway then.
You did. They didn't deserve it.
Ironically, when she left years later, I got hired at that hospital because she had left.
Listen,
after they hired me, I told the other new person, I was like, guess what? They said they'd never let me work here because of that stupid song.
You just walked in playing the theme song to Team America World Police, like really loud, like walking in, like, yeah.
She's like there, and you walk in, remember me? Like, I've never seen your fucking face before.
I love the idea of that movie also, because that the suits, like we're watching daily, said like the whole from what I know about the production of it, the whole production was a nightmare. But they pulled it off really well. But the suits were back there going, oh my gosh, is this gonna work? Oh my, sweating like we should pull the plug on this. And then luckily for us and for them, they didn't. And it went through, and I don't know how well it did in the theaters. I think it like made its money back more in rentals, a Blockbuster at that time. But yeah,
No,
well, I mean, it's saying I'm looking it up. The budget was 32 million and it made 51, so it did pretty well.
I'll take it.
For a low budget movie.
And it actually was up for a bunch of awards too, so it wasn't like it it didn't do poorly, but yes, the suits were behind there probably going, shit,
freaking out.
What the fuck is this? Wait a minute, features songs not included on this soundtrack was Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet Ride.
Sure.
What?
Put it in there, right? Not? That fits in every movie,
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, you might as well. Yeah.
Yes, South Park. Everything they do turns to gold as far as movies.
They do, and as much as I don't find them South Park all that funny, I have they are a huge part of just comedy and music. Next to Weird Al. So because I love Weird Al too. Shut up.
No, I love Weird Al. I was trying to get my son to go see him with me.
I've seen him live.
Tickets
for you might be the only. You guys might be the only two people in the world that were, because this is what I was going to talk about. UHF was on my list.
Oh, nice.
I was going to bring that up too. Yes.
So good.
I say, I'm sorry, I'm kind of. I just did one, I know, but every time I mentioned Weird Al. I've seen him twice in concert. My wife bought me tickets one year, and I went to see it back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, it was amazing. But every time I mentioned or play a Weird Al song or whatever, people are like, "What? You like that? You're an idiot, whatever." But it's always been a big point of contention for me that TV shows can be funny, movies can be funny, books can be funny, comics can be funny. But for some reason, people think that music can't be funny. I get it.
I tend to lead towards the people who understand that it is entertainment and it doesn't have to be so serious. And Weird Al, and again, his had the same band since he started. They are so super talented. Yes, they play into their shtick and they play cover songs, but their original songs are great. And yes, the UHF soundtrack, insane. And again, you talk about somebody like Trey and Matt Stone. Weird Al hasn't done a lot of movies, but when he does, if you haven't seen the Al story.
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I heard it's
so good. You have to see it. It's one of the best things ever. If you like Weird Al, especially, but it's so perfect. It's like he waited way too long to make another movie, but then he totally delivered.
The Weird Al show, UHF, and the one just be made with Daniel Radcliffe. So good, so underrated.
That's his mockumentary.
So yes, no, it's a true story. No, that's truly what happened.
Yeah, it's totally. He totally slept with Marilyn or Madonna and all that. Yeah.
And what's funny to me about Weird Al too is most people just know him for Fat and his parody songs, but his original songs are he's got so many original songs that are just so good and so funny. And if they were just I don't know, if another artist were to record them, they would get a lot more playtime. I think one of my favorite songs, and he just played it when my wife and I went to see it, I think it was 2 Thanksgivings ago down in Syracuse, and I never seen him heard him play this live. One of his ballads, One More Minute. And he played it, and I was like, and I turned he started playing One More Minute. I turned to my wife, I'm like, 1 more minute, he's playing 1 more minute. And my wife's like, okay, great. I don't understand.
Frank's 2000-inch TV, come on.
That's a great one. That's a great one. Yeah.
I love his what is it? First World Problems is really funny. I love that one is one of his originals. And what was the other one? Oh, Why Does This Always Happen to Me?
Right,
where it's just everything is I was taping The Simpsons, but they interrupted it because a bunch of people died. Why does this always happen to me?
Nature Trail to Hell, Airline Amy are great. These are just great songs.
Harvey the Wonder Hamster.
Nice.
Albuquerque is a great song.
Yeah. See, I recently there was somebody posted on Facebook and everybody was like Albuquerque, which is very good. But that one, there's way better ones. Dare to Be Stupid, of course.
Well,
probably his best, but
I got
which was that on the UHF soundtrack?
I
Stupid?
believe that it
No.
was. So I don't know. We have to look it up. But yeah,
I am looking it up. It's not on there.
it's
All
not
right,
on
we'll
there.
do another show. Best original Weird Al songs is the next topic for the show.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love it.
Why?
What do you think is his best parody? No, I know we're talking about his original, but what do you think is his best parody? I've got an answer that I think that I really like, but I would like to hear you guys.
I do.
I love it.
It probably changes
Sure.
month to month, year to year. I think currently it's Jurassic Park is Frightening in the Dark.
That's a great one.
That's not a parody. That's not a parody though.
I didn't know that for a long time. I did not know that. And then I found that out like well into my adulthood, and I was like, oh, this wasn't an original.
It does kind of sound like I love how I think he calls them like genre pieces or whatever. Well, he'll click onto or link onto a style of music and use that, like All About the Pentiums is it's on a style, but it's not a direct parody of anything. If I'm remembering that one right, yeah.
And my kids love Jurassic Park and dinosaurs, so I would play them the Weird Al song, them not knowing. They didn't know it was an original song until that real song was played in Beetlejuice 2, and then they looked at me and like, wasn't that Weird Al song? I'm like, no, this is actually the original song that you've never heard.
Nice.
I actually didn't know that was a
Someone
parody.
left the cake out in the rain. It's a weird ass song too.
It is.
By, man, I forgot the name of the freaking.
Yeah.
I know.
Then again, only Weird Al could pull that one out at the right time in 1994 and say, "This is the Jurassic Park."
Yeah, yeah.
I would have to say eBay.
Okay.
eBay is
from the newer. Is that from Running with Scissors? Which one's that one from?
Probably later than that. It's a good one too. Though.
It's the one.
Poodle Hat. Not Poodle. Is that what's called Poodle Hat? Poodle. Gosh, I'm trying to remember.
It's hard to remember the albums he's had.
Poodle Hat. Yeah, it is Poodle Hat. And it's Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way. And that song is absolutely hysterical. I love singing that song because the intro is just a rare, a used pink bathrobe, rare. And just the way every single line is hit perfectly with the sounds track. And he's just lifting all. I mean,
he's a talented musician.
Yeah.
He's people give him so much shit. Like, oh, well, he just does parodies. Yeah, but he does, like, he doesn't just take the music from the actual arts. Like, he recomposes it.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard one of his polkas? Okay, that ain't easy to play.
Yeah.
No, it fucking isn't. Like, the fact that he can do, like...
Man's a legend. When he leaves this earth, the meteor can hit us.
Dude, right, yeah, like that man is amazing. All right,
so you guys can probably relate to this. Hold on, I was probably 11 or 12 years old, and I had the cassette of in 3D, and I was putting it in. I was just listening to it, doing homework or goofing off or whatever in my room, and Polka came on, and I'm playing it on 11. It's as loud as I can make it, and my dad walks in, and he looks at me and goes, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, it's polka, Dad. It's great. Like being like trying to like because he didn't know it was Weird Al. I was like, I'm a big fan of polka, Dad. It's gonna be great. We're gonna listen to polka all the time. And he's like, I'm not listening to polka. Oh, so funny. It was my dad walking in going, what are you listening to? So fun. But another boy band remake that he did was The Right Stuff. But the white stuff in the middle of an Oreo.
That was my first tape of his, and I remember that one very well.
That's great. That's great stuff. Love the Saga Begins and Yoda. Tolola. Yeah. Great stuff. I would say if I had to pick my favorite Weird Al parody, there might be two. So it might be the theme to Rocky 13, which is Eye of the Tiger. Yeah. Which is Eye of the Tiger. Or
Ryer the Kaiser.
Ryer the Kaiser.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. And then which is not called Ryer the Kaiser. It's called the theme to Rocky 13.
I actually didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I just knew that.
And it's so funny. We're almost there now. He's made so many of them that we're almost there. So he can just make that movie and have that theme song. Or I Want a New Duck.
Oh wow!
I've never heard that song.
I like the deep cuts. That's one of his first. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Huey Lewis, I Want a New Drug. Yeah.
I can't listen to those songs without singing
the
Weird Al version.
He's ruined many original songs.
I love it.
No,
He's
he
the
makes them
man.
funnier. And I love the fact that nowadays, like, you getting parodied by Weird Al is like considered like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And like you've made it. Because Lady Gaga said that when he did
Oh,
Born This
and
Way.
I don't remember the guy who did Riding Dirty said when he did White and Nerdy, it helped him
Chameleon Air.
propel. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it prepared him. And then the moment he contacted him too about it, Chameleon Air was like, hell yeah, fucking do it. Like, it was great. White and Nerdy and also Amish Paradise.
Great
Oh,
stuff.
that's a classic.
Yeah,
So
that's
good.
There's one artist who consistently turned, actually two, but there's one that he eventually, I don't know, he didn't relinquish, but he did do a parody of another song. But there's one artist that consistently turned Weird Al.
McCartney.
Paul McCartney is one of them, but then him and Jimmy Fallon did a parody of one of his songs. I can't remember what it was.
Chicken Pot Pie.
Chicken Pot Pie. There we go.
All right. No, I mean my Weird Al.
There's another artist that consistently turned Weird Al down. You guys know who it is? No.
Elton John.
And once you hear it, you're like, oh, I would have loved to hear a parody of this guy, Prince.
Oh
I
yeah, yes,
Totally
yeah.
I
remember that. Yeah.
Consistently turned him down. Oh, I wonder why. Prince is very like, it's mine, and I understand that on some level.
I get that.
But
I mean, even Kurt Cobain agreed, though. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I loved the interview with when Weird Al was saying that, like, hey,
yeah,
he like called him up and it's like, hey, I'm just gonna do a song about how we can't understand what the fuck you're saying.
No, he's
Kurt
like, Kurt Cobain's like, is the song gonna be about food? And he's like, no, it's gonna be about I don't know what can understand you. And he's like, oh, I get that.
Yeah, dude, do it. And that's also like Smells Like Nirvana. Yeah, that's a great one.
I did hear the Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He did a parody of I'm trying to remember the real song because I can only think of the Weird Al version. The Yabba Dabba Doo now. That one.
Yeah, give it away now. Yeah.
Give it away now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's an interview where Flea's like, it was all right. I didn't think it was that funny. I didn't think it was that creative. And then he was like, what did you think? Did you like it? And everyone's like, yeah, that was funny. He's like, oh, okay, maybe it's funny. I don't know. But like it was one of the first time I heard one of the artists that they were directly parodying go, meh.
Yeah.
That's it was like
it probably hurts your feelings a little, but it was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, it's a great video too. The way remake was talking about his writing style, but directing, he had to remake that whole video.
I know he really put a lot into those early videos too. That was like his thing, you know.
Look, I'll just be real with you.
The Weird Al hour here.
Yeah, the Weird
David's
Al.
waited his whole life for this moment.
If I ever like did an Offspring like TV show, I would want Weird Al Yankovic to direct the first few episodes.
I think that'd be hysterical.
Because I'd want it to be like super like dark and weird, and you know that he can get dark. He can get weird, of course, but you know that he can get dark.
Okay.
But like have stuff going on in the background that people are like, what?
When
happening? What is happening?
When the parody is better than the original song, and I do not like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think they're terrible. Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I'm right, and you guys are all wrong. But like when your song is better than the original, it's like, I'm sorry, you have to admit that, and the fact that the Red Hot Chili Peppers in it just puts them not down on the dick.
I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of Chili Peppers, but one of their songs is in my top 5 favorite songs of all time. But I've never known an album. Chili Peppers, okay, fine, but their song "Soul to Squeeze"
off the Conehead soundtrack,
off the Conehead soundtrack
again. Original songs on soundtracks.
One of the greatest, one of the greatest songs ever.
Absolutely, 100%. Not just one of the best Chili, and I do like a few of their albums.
John, you and me right here, right now. Great.
And again, because they created it for the soundtrack. Conehead's movie was good.
Yeah,
Primus sucks.
Legitimate great.
Yeah, John from Part Time Comics.
Yeah,
whoever that guy is. Anyway,
all right.
Rope,
I got one more.
Yeah, I got one more.
Yeah, I'm done. I did it. Thank you guys. Awesome.
We did it. We got talked about. No, I will always nerd out about fucking Weird Al. Hell yeah. We all bonded today. So my choice was a game. Is from a game, and I will listen to this soundtrack, and I will say it's probably one of the best soundtracks that I've ever listened to. I took this game when this game was announced. I was very hesitant about it, but it won a bunch of awards. It won Game of the Year this year. Decided to pick it up and play it, and I almost 100%ed it. It's one of the only games that I have. But anyway, the one thing that I loved about this game was the soundtrack. It blends all genres everywhere. Like you go into a level, it's the spooky themes. You go into another level, it's God of War. You go into another level, it's Uncharted. It's the entire homage and love letter to Sony's whatever the fuck that they've done over the years, Astrobot.
I hadn't even heard of that.
Really? Okay, so this game came out in September of 2024. The soundtrack goes for no reason. It is Ken C.M. Young who does the soundtrack. He goes way too fucking hard with it. The actual the hub world is like choir chanting music with like upbeat like symphonics.
Yeah.
It's the God of War theme is like tribal chanting. It's just the whole soundtrack, every level. You're like, I'm going to fucking listen to this. I would turn on the game and just listen to the main theme of going, I am Astrobot, do 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 do, and I would just sit there.
Is this a shoot 'em up, Chad?
What?
Is it like a side scroller?
No, it's a platformer.
Okay.
It's a platformer. It's an homage to like Super Mario or Mario 64,
Nice.
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, like any of those. I mean, some of the levels are Uncharted, Horizon, Ape Escape. Like there's just all types of just amazing work in that game. And every time when it's on my rotation on my Spotify, I will always listen to it. Like it's just so good. And every time I'm playing the game, I'm like, honey, there's no reason why this game needs to go so hard with this dumb little robot running around collecting other bots. And every bot that you collect is like based off of a Sony game or like a PlayStation exclusive game or just games that have been on the PlayStation
That's fun.
For years. Yeah, it's really good.
And it was
I'm shocked too. Yeah, it did. It won Game of the Year.
My son and I are gonna have to download that one.
You will I 100% appreciate, would recommend it. My brother's currently playing it, and my nephew, who's 6, will always go, "Can you play Astrobot? Like, I want to watch that game." And I'm like, "Hell, fucking yeah!" And you enjoy that soundtrack, dude. That God of War theme goes way too hard, and so does the freaking the hub world music goes hard. It's a beautiful soundtrack. Cool. It's my all-time favorite right now.
So many games have great soundtracks. My all-time favorite, Mega Man 2, is like, you know.
Oh yeah,
you can do a lot with that music.
Kingdom Hearts is a great soundtrack too.
Kingdom Hearts, great. Yep. Yeah, there's so many good ones.
Silent Hill 2, the remake, is a great. I mean, the original one is really good too, but the remake is really good too. So, John, what's yours?
All right, I'm gonna do the same lame thing that I did with the other one because again, kind of my brain went to movie soundtracks, bands, things like that.
You're fine, whatever.
Gravediggers, Filter, Sepultura, Biohazard, Rollins Band, Melvins, Megadeth, Machine Head, Ministry, Pantera, almost all original songs. Some were remade or tweaked for the album. 10 great tracks, hands down. And again, at the time, I thought you had said it had to be a comic book related property as well. So this one came from Tales from the Crypt, originally a comic, then a show, then a movie. It is the Demon Knight soundtrack.
I was actually going to say heavy metal.
Era where there were so many great soundtracks, original soundtracks, where they're bringing in these great bands, just fit the mood of the movie. The movie was good, but the soundtrack was 100 times better. And
What's the movie?
It's called Demon Knight. It's Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight. And I think they did another one called Bordello of Blood.
Yep.
They did not do a soundtrack too. So there was a couple. It was 1995. The glory years, when you're like 13 to 15 and you find those albums that are just stick with you forever. My friends and I and my brother argue about this all the time, and I always come back to this soundtrack. So I was glad when you brought up this topic because I was like, oh, this is a comic book related soundtrack, and it happens to be my favorite.
Yeah, Tales of the Crypt was awesome. Series was awesome. If you stayed up till it was probably on like 11 o'clock at night, and then it was Tales from the Crypt and Friday the 13th, the series.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with Jason Voorhees. It was they owned like an antique store. And little antique store thing, but great. Oh boy, I wonder if you can see that stuff. If you can stream that stuff anywhere. Do you know if you can stream Tales from the Crypt anywhere?
I don't know, but I would definitely think it would be on some Sci-Fi or Shudder or something. Those episodes. I mean, talk about changing like an entire generation. You know, first the comics did it for one generation, then the TV show. The movies didn't, you know, they didn't catch on as much, but they were good. You know, we've seen a ton of bad adaptations of stuff. These were very good.
Yeah.
You know, extended Tales from the Crypt episodes. You know.
Yeah.
I just real quick because we can
And
totally
this movie
do
Billy Zane actually was in.
Oh yeah, he was
One of his first roles. Yeah.
I
He
didn't
was really
read
good.
the fact that you brought up Sepultura
Sepultura.
is amazing because I actually always forget that they exist. Same thing with Jesus Piece, but they also recently reformed. But
And
the
hands
fact-
down, and that's a good song. That was not an original Sepultura song, but fit with the movie. But it has an original song by Megadeth, Diadems, by far their best song. If you are a Megadeth fan and you haven't heard it, that's
damn.
the centerpiece of the entire album for me, and it's just so good. And then there's a remade version of Cemetery Gates by Pantera. Just a great soundtrack.
1-800-Suicide. Oh, didn't Zeromancer do a cover of that song?
Not that I recall, but I'm sure that was one of their big breakout songs too at the time. So I think that wasn't an original, but Hey Man, Nice Shot was on here. That helped that blow up.
No kidding. Huh. Shit, Filter's on this album. Huh.
I'm trying to remember, there was a band that hit big in like, gosh, it had to be early 2000s. Typo Negative.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, like 1991, man. They weren't around that long.
Was it really?
Yeah, Bloody Kisses was like 1933 with Black #1. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I was just late to the party because I can remember. Because I know that I knew that song right before I moved from Ohio to New York, and that was in the early 2000s. So maybe I was just late to the party. But it was, again, that kind of genre, that kind of thing, you just kind of find it in some of those movies. It's great.
Yeah, they were in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
So great.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, that must be what I'm thinking of.
It was Typo. Yeah.
They would have fit perfectly on the Demon Knight soundtrack. Too bad they didn't get it.
Well,
they're just that spooky Vampire Man music.
Yeah, good stuff.
Spooky Vampire Man music.
Peter Steele, rest in peace, buddy.
Also, I do want to say too, because I know we're almost out of time. What am I trying to say? Where you're saying
the voice of Buster Bunny did the voice of the Crypt Keeper.
Did he really?
John Cash? Oh yeah.
Oh no shit.
Tiny Toons Animaniacs was on my list, but we didn't get to it.
Honorable mentions. That's what I wanted to say.
There we go.
We could be here all night with that.
So honorable mention real quick, the Fantastic Four soundtrack.
Those real bad movies with real good soundtracks, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so let me clarify. Not the 2015 movie.
Okay.
Talking about the 2005 movie.
Well, not that one was great either.
Okay, well, neither one of them, but I'm just
been a lot of bad Fantastic Four movies.
So the Fantastic Four soundtrack, and let me bring it up, was
you can tell that Chad is a decade younger than me. Like it's just all that stuff we're in the exact ages we were, but you know, because we're a decade apart.
Have you ever seen the one from what it was like 1984? With the Underwood, I can't remember his name. But I think it was fine. It was fine for what it was, 1984.
Yeah.
Where they're in the lab, and Mr. Fantastic goes to stretch, and he's got a lab coat on, and the lab coat stretches with him to be able to show the stretching stuff. Oh, fun.
Yeah. So you're talking about the 1994 movie.
Yeah. I'm sure you were talking about the Jessica Alba one.
Yeah.
No, I've seen the 1994 Roger Cormick movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I've seen that one twice.
That's good.
On purpose. It is absolutely hysterical. And every time somebody's like, yeah, it's so bad it's good. And I love watching that. But one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring this one up is because Orange Range is on that soundtrack, which is a Japanese band pop rap group. And they do a song called Kiri Kiri Mai, which is just an absolute weird ass. It's the most bizarre song I've ever heard. Yeah. But they also do the soundtrack, the theme to Bleach. And it was really funny when I started watching Bleach in like 2005, 2006. or not 2005, 2009, to find out that Orange Range has been around a lot longer because they were in the Fantastic Four soundtrack. But they also had like Sum 41, which was another really good band at that time. Alter Bridge, which was terrible live. I saw them and they were garbage. Simple Plan was on that soundtrack. Ben Moody, Omni Soul, Taking Back Sunday, Velvet Revolver. So it was a great soundtrack. I loved it. And then I saw Alter Bridge live, and then I hated it a little bit more because Alter Bridge is on it because they're terrible live. But anyway, that's my honorable mention.
Okay. John, did you have an honorable mention?
The honorable mentions could go on forever. Like a few I mentioned, The Crow, and another great one. My honorable mention is whatever you, dear listener, want to put in the comments after you're watching this later. What is your favorite soundtrack? Again, understanding the rules now, it can just be, whatever accompanied a movie, whatever you enjoy. Put it in the chat. We haven't gotten a lot of comments the last few episodes, so hit us up.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Any honorable mention, Dave?
You brought up The Crow, so I was thinking about superhero movies from that era, I guess-ish. The Rocketeer was a fun one. I wouldn't say good, but a fun one that has a lot of good memories for people our age, I would assume.
I do also want to say the Punisher soundtrack was really good. But anyway, guys, so thank you for listening to the Cosmos. It's been great having everybody around. Next week, I don't know or the week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we'll be back. The 9th of July.
Do we have a topic?
The topic is greatest Weird Al songs.
Oh, boy.
We'll run it back.
You know what?
I'm down with that.
Fuck it. Let's
I don't know if anybody else
We're gonna make Chad. We're gonna live watch the new movie with Chad.
Love it.
His reaction.
Love
it.
The weird movie.
Yeah.
With Dan Radcliffe.
It's called like Al or something. Yeah, the weird.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. So I mean, my heart will be full that day.
I think it was originally free on Tubi or Roku or something.
I think it is on Tubi, yeah. Something like that.
It's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Watch it.
I will watch it. But all right, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't have when I poke this. Really, it doesn't have...
Okay. It's happening. It's all happening.
We're all still here.
There. Oh. Yep. See. Okay. So that's not good.
Stay weird, San Diego.
Yeah. Oh wait, quick, David, quick, Cosmos thing.
Oh no. I have nothing. Cosmos is the rockinest time in the history of time. Boom.
All right. Sure. Cool. I'm gonna press this button.